Alright, so I'd like to start this video off with already showing you some of the components already taken out. I'm sorry about that. I just kind of came up with this little thing at the spur of the moment. What I'm doing is I'm preparing to do my little measurement work for the new center console I'm building for the car. And right now I'm working on taking out this old center console. So I'm working on removing this bolt down here. So to get this little plastic piece out, you have to remove, there's two bolts down here in the back. Let's see if I can. So there is one spot right there where my finger is pointing at, and there's one on the opposite side over there. Just like for this bolt that's down here. That to me, get a little closer. Just like that bolt right there, there's one on the other side that you have to do too, and this whole thing will come out. And that'll give you access to put on your template onto the floorboard so that you can see where you need to cut in order to transplant that into your wood base or whatever you're going to use, wood, metal, bodies, yada yada yada. So let me do that and I'll turn you back on. As soon as you unbolt all those 4 bolts I was talking about, you should just be able to lift this bad boy up and it comes out. So now you have access to remove these clips here. Let me zoom in for you. So you got to remove this clip and that clip. I think you just pinch them. You pinch them down. And you pinch that one down on that side, and this takes this out. This little, it's part of the center console to lock in the console itself. It's like a little, the skeleton, I guess. So let's do that and continue the removal process. All right, so I got the little black things removed. These were down here on the skeleton. So remember, you're gonna have to, squeeze them and then you can just spin them around and they'll come out. So with that being said, I should be able to lift up on this now and pull it out. But there's one thing I want you to see here. There's a cable. I'm assuming this, oh yeah, this goes to, so my version of the Ford Focus ZX4 has the integrated seat warmers. I know, right? Yeah, I'm fancy. But you want to make sure that you don't tug on that wire, otherwise you could cause damage to your wires. And I have an upholstery tool I'm going to go and grab real quick and use that to pull that out. Stay tuned. The upholstery tool that I'm using, I picked this up off of Amazon. I can't remember when. What is this? Wow, great neck. Anyway, so you want to get that down here, right up under it, and just work it up. Just pry it up slowly, and you will have success. I try not to break these things, but you know how that goes if you're watching my other videos with the ones on the outside of the car or near the bumper. They are pretty hard to get out. And I successfully got that one out. So now this is free. So I should be able to remove this part. Now, let me pull up the emergency brake. Let's see what this is tied into. So just slowly wiggle it around till it comes out. And there we go. What's that lead down to? Air duct remove. I might actually use this again, but I want to see what's going on with this makeshift center console. Anyway, let me get that let me get this all sorted out here, and I'll turn you back on. Okay, YouTube, so what I'm doing now is I'm transporting the outline of the paper for the automatic transmission shifter onto this paper, and I'm going to transfer that onto this cardboard that I got, and then I can transport this onto the cardboard, transport the cardboard onto the wood that I'm using to make my cutouts, so that this fits in snugly and we'll be good. So let's do that. My pre-cut or my template overview. So let's go back and recap what I did. I poked the hole through the cardboard, then I poked the hole through the paper. I set that down on top of the unit over here, and then I came back, took that off, took the paper back on top of the cardboard, and I poked holes along what I drew for when essentially I traced the shifter onto the white paper, and then I poked the outline of the white paper onto the cardboard. Now I can cut it out, which I'd get the shell with this piece missing on top of my shifter. Does that make sense? So with this now gone, I can now cut out this perforated slot here and then put that back on to the car like so, and this should give me, you know, the rough dimensions. I'll have to increase the cardboard up a little bit, but give me the rough dimensions of where I need to be, so that I can make sure that the shifter has its place. Cool, let's cut it out. So after further review, yeah, those cords are not long enough to make it all the way up here. So that's going to be a pipe stream for the buttons being up here. I'm going to have to put them right here, and here. And I may even be able to put them on the sides, there and there on the sides. But I think I'll just push them right here and right here. And make sure that I have enough room where all this can fit together, and or reinforce this area so everything can fit snug and won't bend. But yeah, that's it. Let's get it transported over, and I'll turn you back on. I've made progress in the center console shifter and the cup holder. Right now, I have already begun putting the contact cement I picked up at Home Depot, and I've pasted that onto the top. I won't do the bottom. I'll just do the top. I might do the bottom. I don't know. No, I probably won't do the bottom. Anyway, and I've also done the coating for the this is the foam piece to give it a little cushion. You want to, I found out for both pieces, you want to make sure that you have it on both pieces, otherwise it won't stick very well. I'm going to add a little bit more over to this the actual piece, the drink holder, because it's not getting tacky. Well, I think it might start soaking in, or it might have started soaking in, but I'm going to coat it one more time and just brush it on. You don't want to put too much. And here you wait for it to get tacky, and then you join both of the pieces together. All right, so while I wait for that to dry, I just want to give you a little showdown of what I've been doing with the shifter center console piece. So I've went ahead and added back the seat warmers in their spot. Looks pretty cool, huh? Got the shifter spot done. What else do I have? I added this piece here. Some of you might be wondering what this is. This is to hold my phone. On this side, I added a little hole that's going to come up for the cord is going to be stationary and be able to connect to the phone when I have it in. So they have a little slot. I'm going to add a piece here to hold the phone in on either side or at the top, so that it won't slide around when the car goes left or right. But that's pretty cool. And definitely I will have the only Ford Focus on the market in the 2005 version, and probably in any Focus version that has that feature for the phone to sit right below the dash, and so you can see that and be able to read your what do they call that, your radio, or see your radio. That's going to be a cool integration for me. I'm super stoked. I might even add like some kind of like Velcro backing. That's it. Add a Velcro backing here and put a Velcro backing on the phone so that it will you know, it will stay stuck. But we'll see. That sounds like a good plan. Anyway, stay tuned. All right, what's going on, Focus Crew? So what I've done thus far in this center console build, I am going ahead and made my inserts for where my phone's going to sit. I made the hole here for, you know, the through the bottom where the USB Type-C port or cable is going to go through. My new sections for my seat warmers. Got the cutout here for the shifter and for the brake, emergency brake cable. Right now I'm working on making the cup holders, get them in a spot, and I'm probably going to go and do some kind of like routing on the outside of this. I'm saying like, because I'm thinking of what I'm going to do as I shoot this video. It's pretty fun. I need to go ahead and put this last clamp. It's called a clamp. But I'm gonna put this last clamp on so that I can get everything clamped down and glued, and then I'm gonna start using this as a template that I made. Using this as a template, I'm going to do this one the same way, and we should be good. All right, let me get everything clamped up, and once it dries, I'll cut you back on, and we'll continue this process. Stay tuned. All right, so right now I'm about to make the cutouts for the standoffs for the drink part of the center console. I'm going to show you the comparison. So using this one, I'm going to match this. I'm going to cut that much off of it so that I can get the same height that I would with the other. So that's how much I'm cutting off. This is the black mark. So stay tuned while I do this. I'll delete the sounds. You won't hear all that noise. But anyway, let's get to it. Action. Nah, just kidding. But this is what it looks like. So now that I have that piece cut off, it should fit as for this. I'm looking for the same height of the unit. But it's going to fit on this part over here, obviously. Somewhere, you know, like this, or probably at the edge, probably away from that. I'm not sure how I want it to go, but it'll go somewhere like that. All right, let me do the other one and I'll turn you back on. Okay, for this part, I decided I'm going to use this hole dozer that I picked up from Home Depot. Oh, I don't even got the plastic off of it. Let me go take the plastic off. Cut. All right, so I got this hole dozer picked up from Home Depot. These things aren't cheap, by the way, but makes life a little bit easier. All right, YouTube, so I just finished the first wave of sanding down the glue, what do they call that? The cement adhesive, or contact cement adhesive. That stuff is pretty strong. So what I'm going to do with this, I was originally going to wrap it, but now I feel like I think I like it better to paint it. And yeah, I'm just going to paint it, stain it, or just paint it, and then put like a couple of coats of polyurethane on it, and then go with the wood look for the car. I like it better. The wrapping portion of it didn't really turn out the way I wanted it to, so I'm scrapping that idea. I'm gonna go and learn how to upholster better, and once I figure that out, I'll step back and try to do one and with upholstery. But right now I'm going to go back to the roots of my woodworking stuff, which this channel is also founded on, and show you the woodworking and paint and stain side of it and see if you like that. Anyway, stay tuned. Alright, so I just finished doing the template for the side buttons that I'm going to put in the car for my heated seats. So I'm putting those buttons on the side instead of on the top like I originally had it on the old center console. So I had them here, but I'm going to change them to the sides. For me, it gives it a little bit more, you know, a little bit more user accessibility than at the top of the center console, and that frees me up to put something else in this area. Maybe a Bluetooth speaker, or I don't know, maybe I want to add some more USBs here. I mean, it's endless. When you're creating your own stuff, the possibilities are endless on what you can do. But like I said, my Ford Focus never had any of this customization done to it, as it sits over there looking pretty. Pretty little car. And now it will have all of these 2019 features and a little custom twist with focused hands on it. Stay tuned. Alright YouTube, so now I'm going to work on routing out each piece for the drink cup holder. I'm going to see if I can get you in a little closer. I got the parts that I needed cut out, and now I'm getting ready to I got the parts cut out and routed. YouTube, so it's Christmas morning here, and I'm back out here working on the car because apparently I can't get away from it. It's just really nice, really fun to work on. So what am I doing right now? I went and bought some brackets for the back part of this because, as you can tell, if I move it, this back part isn't supported, and I want to support this so it would wiggle a lot less. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these brackets on the old mounting spots for the center console, the armrest. I'm going to mount these brackets to my side panels, and then use the existing bolts that I use for, or that came with the armrest, to lock it in place, and that should give me the rigidity that I need on this end. So this part basically is essentially done. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one more time so that I can map the area in which I need to increase the diameter so that the bolts, the bolt pattern slides through. And that should be that. This should be a pretty easy step to do. All right, I'll cut you back on when it's done. Stay tuned. Right now I'm working on stapling the garments for the center console. So what I've done is I've used this is a basic staple gun I got from Home Depot, and I've gone through and stapled the inside, wrapping it over, so you'll see like a little bend in the vinyl from the top. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the other side. So with it in the car, you see this, and all that's draping down, so you won't see any of the inner works of the car down below. And I like that look. It looks pretty sleek, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and do the automatic shifter as well, and get that fixed up, and I'll cut you back on. Alright YouTube, so here's the finished product. See how it looks. Pretty cool for a custom design. And I'm gonna go install it in the car now to see what it looks like. Give me a few moments to do that. I'll turn you back on. All right, YouTube. So I just want to give you a recap on everything that I've done throughout this whole building process. If you watch the video up to this point, you might be concerned about like how I went from one portion of the video to the next. All of it was really a big. It was complex enough that I was thinking about different things all at once and what I wanted to do, scrapping projects in between things. And I ended up coming up on this build here, my final build. And I actually really like it. It's where I routed the edges. So I have routed edges, but instead of vinyl wrapping it, I did do some vinyl, but I stapled it as you saw on this part. And I also did a polyurethane finish. After coating it 3 times with paint, I coated it 3 times with the polyurethane to give it a little bit of protectant against, water damage, splashes, abrasion, yada yada. And I really like the way it looks and feels. It feels really smooth. Yeah, I could have did a better job in some areas, like right here, but I mean, you'll be out here all day chasing perfection if you do it that way. I got the cup holders and whatnot finished. And one cool thing about the cup holders that I really like is my vinyl wrapping for these. I was able to staple these from the inside. So when I have it out, there's still, you can't see in there. And then it gives the cup holder a little bit more stability so it won't rattle around. Same thing for the back one. This routed from the sides, or stapled from the sides, I think is pretty cool. And over here, what I've done is I've moved my Bluetooth speaker, voice speaker, from this spot down to here. I then added this USB charger, USB 3.0 and up charger that you saw from one of the videos I posted earlier. That's now in the car as well. And that is now functioning to light my floor wells. So now I have lights up under here and in the back as well, which is a pretty cool little feature. Yeah, that's it. So instead of vinyl wrapping it, I painted it, and then I put 3 coats of polyurethane, oil-based polyurethane on it to protect it. And I feel like it came out pretty good. Another thing that I did in the video is that I didn't paint the sidebars. I actually vinyl wrapped these, and I put the seat warmer switches on the sides. So for each passenger will be able to reach down here on the sides and click their button if they feel like they need to get their bum warmed a little bit. So that's it. That's the whole build. Now I need to go and redo my carpets and everything. That actually does tuck in, but I'm going to recut the carpet and recut it again so everything flows and fits it like it should fits right. But that's it. That's the build. It definitely gives the car, it gives the car a real custom feel. I like that the cup holders are back here instead of right here and right here where they used to be from the stock center console. And I like the addition of moving the buttons to the sides. They're out of the way, making it more minimalistic for me, and Scandinavian, I guess, and minimalistic. And then I like the addition of this here. It just now lets me know the voltage in the car, and the added bracket for my Bluetooth speaker, so I can hear or be heard clearly when I'm speaking to someone hands-free in the car. But that's it. That's the full center console build in a nutshell. If you have any questions about like how I went about it, just feel free to reach out to me. It was, like I said, it was a process, but the the whole job was actually pretty easy. It's just coming up with what you actually want. That was the hard part. But also the fun part for me, because I went through like 3 different trials before I settled on this one and settled on the finish that I wanted it to have. So hopefully it fares great for you, like it did for me. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment down in the comment section. And happy holidays. Peace. So today we're working on redoing and finishing up the center console. And while doing this, I'm working with the automatic shifter, and I'm doing a little color change. So here's what it looks like after I've already done what I'm going to show you here in the next few minutes. Originally, that would be orange, and because of that, this is a little piece right here that goes on top of the this little shifter cable that blocks everything else, but has an orange little filament that you see. And this right here is like 15 years old. So what I did and this is just a minor little thing, what I did was I pulled this off. This just comes off pretty easy. I added in a LED bulb, and these are the ultra bright Techno bulbs I use for my steering column. And let me show you this, by the way. So this is what I did to the steering column. Pretty cool, right? Or the gauge cluster. Pretty cool. I made a rainbow spectrum, and I'll show you that later. But I think these are, I have to get the numbers for what these are. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'll link that in the description for the size of bulbs. That pretty much everything in here, including gauge cluster, the shifter, and I believe everything in here as well, all use the same size bulbs that I have over here. And I have green, red, and blue, so I have an assortment of colors that I can make other colors with. Roy G. Biv. Oh my gosh, I have Roy G. Biv. Anyway, so what I did to get this to show green and not orange is that I peeled off this piece that was connected, this piece that was connected right here, and you just peel that off, and you can reuse this or re-glue it down if you want to go back to orange later. So everything can be redone or undone if you don't like the color in which you get.